When I think about what kind of educator I am, whether it's a librarian or a teacher, it comes down to one sentence. I want to be there for some kid. I realize that's a pretty broad statement, and I'd like to break it down into several points. First of all, I think of myself as a mentor foremost. I take this as having a role in the classroom as an advisor, as well as a facilitator. I want to have a classroom that the kids feel like they're comfortable bringing up their own ideas and not to worry about whether they're going to be made fun of. I want to present opportunities to students that they wouldn't get in any other situation. And as an educator, I realize I am that role model. I feel that it's central to have good relationships with my kids. Rita Pearson, when confronted by a colleague who stated, "They don't pay me to like the kids, they pay me to teach." Ms. Pearson responded with, "Kids don't learn from people they don't like." I planned on building those relationships and trust with the kids so I can have those discussions with them. I want to encourage my kids to take an active role and help me set classroom norms, giving kids a stake in the classroom behavior. As an educator, I use my past experience in working with children in such areas as the Boys and Girls Club. Also realizing that dealing with students in an educational situation is a different matter. That being said, I bring some aspects of that experience into my teaching because that's who I essentially am. A goal of mine is to open up new ideas and opportunities to my students and teach things outside the box. That is, I want to encourage them to think independently and not accept conventional ways of doing things and shift my pedagogy to fit that. I believe in doing a lot of hands-on learning and invoking applied real-life aspects of teaching and using my curriculum as a base. Based on my previous childhood experience, this has worked for me. But I also realize that knowing my students, I have to realize that kids have different learning styles. And knowing my kids, I'll be able to fit that in. Being Black and male, I realize I'm rare as a teacher in general and as a librarian for sure. I'm going to be an inspiration to some and an example to others, no matter where I end up being an educator. In my time in the MAT program, my exposure to concepts of social justice, diversity, equality, and equity has allowed me to reflect on how I'm going to deal with them in my learning space. In the beginning, I felt I was under pressure, and I had to be militant about how I'd go about doing this. Going through the program, as well as my experience in the classroom, I realized I can still effectively do those things without feeling like I have to force it. As a librarian, it can be a matter of introducing students to books about different cultures and different people that they would not have an opportunity to be exposed to. As an educator, I can blend those concepts into whatever I'm teaching. I've also done some soul searching as how I deal with other cultures myself. Where I feel like I have an idea about being an African American in the United States, there are other cultures that I don't have that much experience with. And that's pushed me to realize that I have to make an effort as an educator to make sure that I'm implementing my students' culture and funds of knowledge into my teaching. I appreciate the things that Antioch has exposed me to, and it's helped me think about how I can be a better educator.